Hey everybody, it's Party Elite with another episode of Total Breakdown. This one came in from Ease, once again, leading his Warriors of Chaos in a battle against Ninjahund, leading the Empire. The Warriors of Chaos are led by a Chaos Lord, alongside a Chaos Sorcerer of Metal, 2 aspiring champions at rank 1, 6 Chaos Warriors with great weapons, 4 at rank 2 and 2 at rank 1, and 2 units of Chaos Knights with lances ranked up to rank 1 each. The Empire comes to the field led by Volkmar the Grim, a light wizard, 3 units of spearmen, 1 ranked up to rank 1, 3 units of greatswords, 2 units of handgunners, the silver bullets, a unit of Empire Knights, and the Tempelhof Luminarch. As always, we're going to start with a conversation about layout, relatively simple from both sides here. With the Warriors of Chaos, we've got the Chaos Warriors with great weapons up front, just behind them, the aspiring champions in the middle, providing a strong center, and on either flank we have the Chaos Knights with lances here, Chaos Knights with lances here, and the Chaos Lord actually in this crowd, and the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal is also in this crowd here, probably suspecting maybe a Luminarch or some magic missile play, and he was not disappointed because obviously the Empire did bring a Luminarch, and their layout is also pretty simple. You've got the great swords in the middle here, spearmen to either flank, and the Empire Knights providing some strength to this flank over here. Right behind this sort of main alignment, we have, of course, the handgunners and the silver bullets as well alongside them. The Tempelhof Luminarch as well as Volkmar the Grim off to the side here, and over here we've got the Empire Knights, as I mentioned, so just providing some strength to either flank, and the Luminarch already moving up front to open a shot. And perhaps a little predictably, it's probably going to hit that Chaos Sorcerer of Metal as he is out and in the open, and not going to speed it up just yet, but I want to say, when you see the Tempelhof Luminarch charging up like that, it's a good idea to take a look at where it's pointing and get a rough guess as to where it might be shooting. Try to make an educated guess. And when it's sort of aiming in this direction, you're probably, it might be one of these main units back here, or it's probably your character that's standing out there. And when you see that shot coming, the best thing to do is to order a move to either side, because that's not a homing bullet. It's not going to track, and you'll notice the order was actually given to come straight back. And I just want to say to anybody who's watched Prometheus perhaps, or watches Game of Thrones, you understand this concept, zigzag. You want to get out of the way of a straight shot, so you'll see a huge amount of both physical and morale damage was done to that Chaos Sorcerer of Metal, which is very unfortunate. Very accurate hit there from the Luminarch, but could have been avoided. It's very difficult to quickly respond to an incoming shot, obviously, but it is possible to avoid those shots. Well targeted by Ninjahund, though, to try and take that magic out before it can be used effectively. Obviously, with the Sorcerer of Metal, you want to use some of that debuff capability, so trying to shut that down before it is actually fully viable. Chaos Lord himself is actually still safe, not taking shots there, and another shot does come towards the Chaos Sorcerer, and that time trying to dodge the bullet, but unfortunately the order was given just too late. And that's the end of the Chaos Sorcerer. Meanwhile, you'll notice as the Knights close in on the flanks on both sides, the Spearmen aren't actually sent in to respond. They're not moving in to intercept. As the Knights were even, sort of coming in, the lines could have been realigned, but Ninjahund refused to do that. He decided to keep his line strong because he wants to make sure the fronts can actually lock up. He wants to make sure that no unit is able to get through. And obviously Ease is thinking, I want to get around and I want to shut down this ranged fire, shut down the Luminarch. You'll notice, meanwhile, for one, range fire coming in, trying to weaken the center here. I would have maybe suggested, as I tend to, some focus fire, maybe taking out an entire unit, but the thinking here is really strong. You want to get rid of some of these units in the center because they are backed up by the aspiring champion, so this strong center needs to be weakened a little bit, and it was quite successful, not only with the ranged fire from the handgunners, but also with that shot from the Luminarch that you just saw. I also want to point out some great net play. Ninjahund would make a great fisherman, that's for sure. He threw down these nets almost instantaneously, just side by side, shutting down this flanking maneuver. He didn't need his spearmen back there, he didn't need his Empire Knights, nothing. All he needed were these 2 nets, beautifully placed. He realigns his handgunners to open fire and cause as much damage as possible, dropping the Chaos Lord's HP slowly but surely, and also trying to hit the Chaos Knights here. Volkmar is coming in as well, and you'll see the front gets lined up pretty well. Because he didn't have to pull his spearmen back or anything, he's actually able to hold the line, and it will be a tough fight, obviously, especially when these spearmen are up against these Chaos Warriors. It's going to be a tough fight, but at least there is one. At least these Chaos Warriors weren't able to waltz right through and, pin down these Empire Knights or come around and hold these spearmen hostage. Overall, great move there using those nets instead. Now that the nets are down, though, Ease is continuing on with the plan. He's sending the knights in with this intent to flank, shut down the Luminarch, shut down that range fire, and the front will, hopefully succeed. And that's typically what you can expect when the lineup is like this. And you'll notice, of course, these knights do come in, they hold down the Luminarch, and these knights, he did pull away from this situation and pull back down into the handgunners. So great job there, good management there, making sure that all of this range fire is shut down. Beautifully done. Unfortunately, with all of these units clumped up and a light wizard available, you can predict exactly what's going to happen. This Luminarch is being pulled away, and you'll see it go down right now. Another beautiful net. So just like that, this entire aggression has been shut down once again, and that allows all of these range units to creep away, to get away. Will also allow the light wizard to get away if he so chooses. Volkmar might, opt to stay in there and cause some damage, but great net there. And at the same time, the front is actually collapsing. So again, as I mentioned, the spearmen will make a very weak stand against Chaos Warriors, and that's exactly what's happened. So these Chaos Warriors are able to punch right through either flank, and that is overall a win for Ease at this point. He's able to now crumble in, and you'll see another great shot from the Luminarch just rolling out there, opening fire. I think the target was the Chaos Lord, but more damage was done to these Chaos Knights, actually. And you'll notice these Chaos Warriors are now giving chase to the Tempelhof Luminarch, trying to shut it down once again. Meanwhile, these Knights are being pulled away, and that's a great move. Soon after a net, you want to make sure any unit whose charge bonus is significant gets pulled away, because obviously, having been netted, there is no speed, so there is no charge, and there is no charge bonus. So great move there, pulling these guys away, making sure they can come back ASAP and cause that charge damage, of course. Now, in regards to this chase, I would say, yeah, you've got the Luminarch sandwich, so you can probably shut it down and cause a fair bit of damage. However, I would actually strongly recommend heading straight down right now, because it would take less time to do that, and in a shorter time span, it would have been very possible to win this entire, well, flank. It's now the right flank, I suppose. So both of these engagements could have been won, freeing up 3 Chaos units and allowing them to go in and, chase whatever needs to be chased, damage whatever needs to be damaged. So I would have actually suggested sending these Chaos Warriors straight down into this front line over here, and these guys could go in towards the Luminarch. Now, unfortunately, these Empire Knights do get pulled in to charge in, and they do cause a fair amount of disruption. Not so much damage per se, but a fair amount of disruption. Meanwhile, you'll notice the Silver Bullets are opening fire into the Chaos Lord. These Chaos Knights do come down, cause a fair amount of damage to the ranged units there, again shutting them down. So great move, great thinking there, but it would have been a good idea to send these Chaos Knights around to take care of these spearmen, or to come around towards these handgunners, because if you send them in towards that same engagement, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get a net, and that's exactly what goes down. Another beautiful net, just holding all these units down, keeping the range units safe and alive. And you'll notice the front now is completely devastated. There is no Empire front line anymore. They're all on their way home. They want to get back to their women and children, their wives and their loved ones. And back here, this is where the battle now resides. It rests on the shoulders of some of these range units, and you'll notice as they trickle away, Ninjahund only barely pulls them back so they can open fire on some of these frightening Chaos units, and another net goes down, holding them in place. These handgunners didn't move too far back, only a handful of feet, but they're able to open fire. These guys, unfortunately, are retreating, but obviously the hope is there that they will reconcile, they will come back into it. And you'll notice a big flaw here. Ease is actually sending all of his units into this clump, so they're all going to get netted as well. Very unfortunate there, but understandably he wants to shut down Volkmar. More important target right now is actually the Light Wizard. When you're up against a Light Wizard, that needs to be your priority target, especially when a Luminarch, or rather I should say the Tempelhof Luminarch, is also available, because that means double nets. Now, you've got this unit of handgunners ready to fight again, and this unit of the Silver Bullets is well willing to go jump back into battle. So what does that mean? That means there's a lot of ranged support now for the Empire once again, not only on this side over here. Well, for one, there's some on this side, and there's the Luminarch itself on this side, but also they're split apart. There's some handgunners here, and the Silver Bullets here, and then of course the Luminarch over here. So it's all really spread apart, so it will take a concentrated effort to shut them all down. I've mentioned this before, one unit gets engaged, the rest can fire into them. So Very fortunate there, and I will also like to point out that these spearmen are actually moving in to intercept these Chaos Warriors. Again, will they put up a fight? Not really, but they'll hold the ground and they'll actually prevent these Chaos Warriors from diving in. And you'll notice the Chaos Knights back here, as well as the Chaos Lord, giving chase towards the Tempelhof Luminarch, the Chaos Lord changing his mind, and I think going down towards the Light Wizard. And over here, again, the spearmen just holding these guys back, allowing these handgunners to get away and open fire. So up here now, these Empire Knights giving chase to these Chaos Knights, and again, a beautiful net goes down. Those Chaos Knights not able to close the gap with the Tempelhof Luminarch. Empire Knights, it was decided to pull them back for a little bit, and then the decision was sort of reneged, and now they're sent back in towards the Chaos Knights. That's a good call. You want to get rid of these guys as soon as you can, because if you have a bunch of high mobility units free to move around, they can try and shut down various ranged units. Now, at the same time, we've got another net going down. I think the attempt there was to shut down these Chaos Knights as well as the Lord, so trying to cast in the middle there on the ground. Unfortunately, the Knights just snuck by, but the Chaos Lord is caught under the net, and it is an upgraded one, so it is going to be an extended duration. Meanwhile, back here, these aspiring champions are doing nothing, and that's really unfortunate. They need to be sent in against whatever, against absolutely anything, because that is a high value unit. They cause a lot of damage, and at this time, they're just a waste of money. Meanwhile, over here, you'll see these handgunners have, well, taken care of these Chaos Warriors. One unit was already retreating. There's another unit down now, and all of these Chaos Warriors over here trying to shut down the Light Wizard. I think this is an example of frustration from Ease. He's just very annoyed at all these nets, so he's trying to shut down the Light Wizard, but this might be too late. He might just be out of Winds of Magic at this point, and unfortunately, that may have been excellent baiting by Ninjahund, I'm not entirely sure, but as they were engaged and the Light Wizard was retreating in this direction, all of these units followed him right into the net. So if that was intentional, that's some beautiful baiting done by Ninjahund, and honestly, I can suspect that was probably intentional. Meanwhile, these handgunners now are able to change their direction, and they are looking at this clump, and that is a juicy target. Of course, the net is already over, but that's fine. These guys are no longer effective. All these gunshots coming in all around, and of course we've got another bombardment spell, not costing any Winds of Magic, so may as well get that damage in. And pretty soon you'll see this entire clump has given up. That's a lot of range fire coming in. The Light Wizard still able to sort of hold his own, not really worried about the situation, and nothing really that Chaos can do at this stage. Even the Tempelhof Luminarch wasn't shut down, even though that thing is obstructed more often than it's firing. It does do a lot of work, as you can see. So a lot of very crucial shots from the Luminarch, unable to shut it down, leaving it alive, and then not using units to their fullest led to this unfortunate but valiant defeat. I think this was an interesting battle, showing some really quick thinking as well as some alternate thinking. The nets were brilliantly used to protect the flanks and beyond, and most likely to the immense frustration of Ease. And though the Empire's front line broke rather easily, nets and ranged fire really won the day for the Empire. It's important to take a quick look at your opponent's army, assess the situation, and play accordingly. When your opponent has 2 units that can cast nets, you have to do your best to stop your high-value units from getting too closely packed, or to at least shut down one of those casters. Might seem counterintuitive, but being able to pull that off is what being a great general is about. As always, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more Total War content, and keep submitting your battle replays. I've said it countless times, I think it's a great way to learn and see what's going on in the world of Total War, and it's always nice to see great battles from the community. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.